Good afternoon. Welcome to the tea table. I am so happy you've joined me today. And we're celebrating St. David's Day, which is the first day of March. And it's a Welsh holiday celebrated all over the world, but especially in Wales and the United Kingdom. And you know, on the Tea Talk, we like to honor every holiday. And remember, we learned that holiday comes from the word holy day. That's what it actually derives from. And I am playing some beautiful Welsh music. And we've had tea talks before celebrating St. David's Day, and I remember telling you that he was the most amazing, wonderful, royal saint of Wales. And his history goes back to the 5th century. He lived to be a very old man and was so devout and was known for miracles. And before his birth, it was prophesied that he would be born, and his mother was non of the royal house, and she was very devout Christian, and from an early age he dedicated his life to God and helping other people. Well, if you haven't gotten your tea yet, please pause and get your tea. I have a beautiful set to show you today, and I'm actually sitting at my tea table. This is my original tea table that I've had for many years. That dear friends, my dear friends, Ken and Marilyn, that I used to sing with all around Seattle when we were all in college, they gave this to us as a wedding gift, and we have had this in our home. And I thought, today for Wales, let's go to the real tea table. And I'm using china that looks like what Welsh china is known for, and it's called Gaudy, Gaudy. Because the Welsh people were often poor, but they loved color and they wanted lots of color on their china. And so that is what they ended up making and developing themselves. And I am going to show you the cup. And this may not be official Gaudy, but I've gotten to the closest I could find. This is a picture. See, it's just all covered with beautiful color. And the thing that distinguishes it from other china that may have a lot of color, it always has a gold rim. And I love when gold is on china. Well, let's pour out. Here is my pot. Whoa, it's heavy today. Oh, and I've got the best tea. I wish you were here. I have Welsh tea that I put together myself. Welsh tea is a blend of Kenyan and British black, and it is spectacular. Here is the little pitcher. I'm going to put a splash of cream in my tea. Whoa, it's really dark tea. I put an extra bag in because it's beautiful today, but it is so cold. So, oh my goodness, that's the best. The Kenyan tea is the best in the world. I love it. I love it blended with other teas. It's very nice. Well, I'm going to put my cup down, and then I'll show you what I put on my little tea tray for fun. I put a little Welsh man and woman. See, they're right in the middle of the tea tray. You can be so creative with your tea tray. And you don't have to have everything matching. It's fun when things match. This is called a tea caddy, and it's very old. And that's tea in there, special tea. These are tea balls that were sent to me from my son and daughter-in-law that I need to try. And then I have this special spoon that is a tea strainer. So lovely. So this always is sitting on my tea cart here, and it's called a tea caddy. And this is what they had. All of the ladies in England and different places would have a tea caddy. And it was all bulk tea. Nothing would have been in bags at that point. And it was so precious and so expensive. I am wearing a scarf that I felt kind of looked like the Welsh flag. The Welsh flag is black and yellow. And then, you know, they also have St. George, who, you know, slew the dragon. And that's on a green and a red and a black. They have a lot of black, the Welsh. I like black. I like it as a backdrop color. Everything really bounces off it. And so this is very warm, and I'm freezing here in my own house. You see outside, it's beautiful. The sun has come out. The problem is, it's just too cold to go sit out there and do a tea talk. It looks nice. I couldn't do it today. So let's talk just a little bit. I'm going to tell you a few things about Saint David and why he became a saint. He lived from 500 to 589. He was a Christian bishop of Merne during the 6th century. And I said he was the son of Non, N-O-N, grandson of King Cundeda, and he was a teacher of Finian of Cloncaird. Finian became also a great, there's 12 great saints of Ireland, and I need to do a tea talk on all of them. But he made a trip to Jerusalem, Saint David, and was anointed as archbishop by the patriarch. So he came back and founded a monastery at Pembrokeshire, and St. David's Church stands there today in Wales. Now, I have never been to Wales. I was living in England and was in Scotland and Ireland and never made it to Wales. I'm so sad. I would love. I have seen the most gorgeous castles are in Wales, and those were built by William the Conqueror when he came. And Wales is so special. And we always see whoever the next king is going to be is the Prince of Wales, right? And that goes back to Edward, before William the Conqueror, who subdued the Welsh and took part of their kingdom to be his, or took the kingdom and then made it with the British, you know, the United Kingdom, they call it now, but it was Great Britain, all 4 countries, Scotland, Wales, England, and Ireland. Well, when William the Conqueror came in 1066, he wanted to make sure that he was going to establish his kingdom, because there's always someone around the corner trying to take it away. So the Normans, he was a Norman from Normandy, remember, and he built these incredible castles. And Wales has some of the most beautiful. And you can look it up online. You can do a Google search. You know, I actually think the Tea Talk could be, my prayer would be that it's an inspiration to you to then go study more. I can only give you just the top points, but there's so much more to know, and it's so fascinating. Well, Saint David, he was royal, but he was not the king, and he is known for miracles. And they say that once he was really fought the heresies. There were always these heresies, which is false doctrine, coming against the true Christian church. And one of them was Pelagianism. And that thing had been going for a long time, and he was really standing against it. And as he stood to preach, it is said that a mountain arose under his feet, and everyone could see him. Now, this is in the lore of his life. He lived a simple life. There was no wine in his monastery, simple diet, and they had the leek as their symbol. And I wanted to have daffodils today because that is the symbol of, I'm sorry, please, we're just family here on the Tea Talk, but this, my son secured it, but it's still falling. We'll just have to let it go where it wants. So he had his men that were in the monastery. They would go on foot. They were very humble. They would work by themselves in the fields. They wouldn't even always use animals. They would just do their own plowing, and they would help the poor. And he was beloved, and he became the saint of Wales for many reasons. Very outstanding. At the same time, he is right kind of after St. Patrick, but at the same time is St. Brendan in Ireland that I want to talk about again. And he was the saint who founded the monastery and took all the sea voyages, and many people think he ended up in North America before Christopher Columbus. Well, Shakespeare refers to the Welsh in his famous Henry V play, Act 5, Scene 1, and he talks about the good Welshman, and that he would wear, the final line is, I wear this leek or this daffodil for the Welsh, you know, good countrymen. So even Shakespeare is mentioning that symbol in his plays. And it's so beautiful. Also, David is remembered by all as a saint who lived such a long life, unusually for that time. They don't know if he was almost 89 years old. He lived a very long life. And there are many, many good stories about what he did to help his people. And the Welsh are known for their singing. They have it says every Welshman and every Welshwoman can sing. And they can speak, and they're the best. Richard Burton was Welsh. The best actors and actresses on the stage. They are so gifted in preaching, many preachers. And if you have any Davies, there's a Davies Scottish tribe, which is the Davies clan. And that goes back to really the Welsh and the influence. We found out my husband is actually from his side, a little bit of Welsh, and Davies is their clan, which would be relating to St. David of Wales. So history continues on, and we're all part of history. We're making history. And I have a good news report today. I have a good news report I want to give you to build your faith. You know, when we pray for something and then it gets answered, sometimes we just run along and think, oh, I'm glad that happened, but we don't take time to really thank God or tell people about it or give a proclamation. You know, remember when Jesus healed the lepers and only one came back to thank him? And he said, where are the other 9? So I want to give you a good news. Now, this is little, but that's another thing that okay, this is perfect because it's little. And what the most famous thing that this man is known for that we're talking about today, Saint David, is his final words when he died. And what he said when he died was, I had it written down, but I basically know what it is. Be happy and joyful and do the little things. Do the little things. That's what he's known for. And I've always said, if little things are so big, there are no little things. Everything is important in our life, little and big. Well, my daughter lives far away in Wisconsin with 2 of my darling grandchildren. And they're 3 and 18, 19 months. 3.5 and 19 months. So, and yesterday she called me. My little grandson goes to a wonderful little preschool that he absolutely loves. He loves it. It's so important for him. Their weather is so bad there, and he gets to play with toys and have little gerbils and little animals and things that they just can't have at home. And it's only 2 mornings a week. But it's just the perfect blessing. And mothers out there and grandmothers know what I'm talking about when something really just works for your child. Well, yesterday my daughter called me and she said they're closing down this program, and it's like right by their house. They absolutely love their teachers. The teachers love the children. They're so kind and good. And she was and I said, oh my goodness, it can't. And so I said, let's just pray. And we said a little prayer. And then she proceeded to call and tell everyone how important this was. Well, guess what? Today they got word they're not closing the program. And all the parents were just so sad and up in arms. And now they are not closing it. And so they are just so very happy. And she said, Mom, now this is good news. It'll help you do your tea talk today. Yes, and it's true. Good news is so powerful. It's so wonderful. Let us be people that bring good news to others, right? And speaking of good news, I have a treat that's very, very, very nice. I have a double treat today. Okay, I have some really beautiful cookies. You can't really see them. They're half black and half white. See that? Aren't they gorgeous? I didn't know how to display them so you can really see them. There, I guess you can. And then on the bottom, I have some wonderful Italian biscotti, and I can smell them. When you have a tea party and you sit at the table, you kind of smell that, and then you smell the tea. Oh, I love that. So please help yourself. Have as many as you like. Okay. Well, have you been having a good week? I hope you have. I realize that my music okay, we'll just keep it. Ooh. I hope you've been having a good week. I have. I've been busy, and I know you have too. And I hear from some of you on my own direct phone, and I'm so happy all the good things that are happening in your lives. And if you have something that you just feel should be changed, just say a prayer, but pray in faith. And I tell you, you will get an answer. Yes, you will. Well, it's a beautiful day. You can see behind me, the sun is out. It's still cold. And tea is very needed indeed. Well, you know, I'm teaching a Psalms class. It's history of worship. So I've been studying King David. And it's interesting, we've got Saint David and King David. One thing that Saint David of Wales did, he went over to Glastonbury, which is considered the oldest church in all of Great Britain, Glastonbury Abbey. I've been there to the ruins. And he went over and he brought a prize jewel that was probably from his royal house, a sapphire, and put it on the altar. And it was there for years, sealed in. And then sadly, when Henry VIII did the abolition of the monasteries, it was stolen and no one knows where it went. But he invested so much of his life in other people that we're still feeling the effects today. That's what we want to do on the tea table. We want to be investors in other people, and we want to help make other people successful. You know, the greatest joy in life is helping others be successful. And in so doing that, we become successful. It's giving that makes living so wonderful. Give as much as you can to as many as you can. I'm not even talking about money. I'm talking about time, love, kindness, a cup of tea, service. And sometimes people will ask you to do something and it feels so hard. And I have discovered in life that often when it really sounds hard, that is the important thing, and I need to do it. Well, on the tea table, we love around the world, don't we? So my purse today is really fun. It's a map. It's a map. It's an old vintage map from around the world, and it zips. It has a zipper like this. And you can carry it like this, or it has a satchel that you can carry it as a crossbody. But I thought for going to Wales today, this is an old, ancient map on here. I don't know what year, but it's really, really old. I think it's pre-Christopher Columbus because, so who knows, it could be back in that. They were kind of guessing, because I can see on this map, they were guessing. And then now we don't guess, do we? We can have a drone or fly over it, or, oh my goodness, there's no question. We can see it out of an airplane, the land, the way it goes. We certainly live in a time that is so unusual and so great in many, many ways. And I just really appreciate all of you. I want to thank you for your comments and your encouraging words that you send me in a text. I appreciate it. It really, really makes me happy. Thank you. And even though we're on a Zoom setting, we have a relationship. And relationship is where it's at. Yes, truly it is. And I pray for you, and I hope all the good for all of you. And reach out to someone this week. Send a card. It's March. We've entered the beautiful month, the month of change. We're going to change the clock this week. In 2 more weeks, we'll have spring. Oh, I'm so excited. Well, thank you so much for joining me. And if you haven't subscribed, I really would appreciate you subscribing to my channel. That would mean a lot too. I try to send out notices to all of you, but subscribing is good because you will get an automatic notification and I might miss someone. And then if you liked it, a like is nice, and a comment I appreciate so much. I know some people don't feel comfortable commenting, but those who do, thank you. I really, really appreciate it. And let's just not forget to have tea parties. We really need to have more tea parties. I know I do. I have tea with you every week. But I had company last night and I had company a week ago. And it was so wonderful. I thought, this is what makes life so worth it. Truly. So worthwhile to be in person with your friends. And new friends. Have new friends too. Okay, well, God bless. And study more about Wales and St. David. And he is the patron saint. And one thing I did learn that, remember when Queen Elizabeth went to the palace or the castle in Wales when Prince Charles, who's now King Charles, was crowned the Crown Prince of Wales. Do you remember that? It was so beautiful, the ceremony. And you can see that online and on YouTube. And that way you really see those castles. Because I remember when Queen Elizabeth, her funeral, and they had the Welsh part of it. Oh my, it's a country worth knowing more about. And the name of the country is Cambria in Welsh, in the Welsh language. Many of the people still speak Welsh. And the one movie that really shows the beauty of Wales is How Green Is My Valley. It's sad, deep, but very beautiful. It's an old movie, so well done, and it is worth watching. It is filmed in Wales and really gives you an insight into the beautiful Welsh people. Deep hearts and beautiful song. So I just really hope you are all getting ready for spring and perhaps getting your gardens, or at least looking out the window and thinking about what you might do in that garden, right? Yes, it's a little cold to be out there, but I've got some flowers on my porch and they're doing very well. Yes. Okay, God bless. And I look forward to seeing you next time.